In Part 4, I will discuss what I term combat-related psychological, emotional, and moral injuries, PEM injuries. Now, the intent of all combat action is to neutralize the enemy's ability to wage war. The primary means of accomplishing this end in war fighting is by creating enemy casualties, by rendering the enemy incapable of continuing the hostilities. This includes, of course, not only killing and physically injuring enemy combatants, but psychologically and emotionally incapacitating them as well. Consider, for example, the endless artillery bombardment experienced by soldiers fighting in the trenches of the Western Front during World War I. As a consequence of these bombardments, not only were many individuals killed and physically wounded, but many more suffered PEM injuries, then termed shell shock. Now, language, how we characterize the human cost of war, its effects on the warrior, is both critical to our understanding of the institution of war and to veteran healing. I doubt, for example, that we would describe a broken tibia sustained during the bombardment as a normal response to being hit by shrapnel. Nor would we deem it, I think, a physical illness. Rather, we would recognize it as a combat injury, a war wound. Similarly, it is just as inaccurate and disingenuous, I would argue, to characterize a broken mind or a damaged spirit, whether it is called shell shock, battle fatigue, combat exhaustion, or PTSD, as a normal response to battlefield conditions, or as mental illness. Now, since PEM injuries are the direct consequence of warfighting, they are as much combat injuries as the shrapnel broken tibia. To say otherwise betrays either an effort to disenfranchise PEM injured veterans, or an ignorance of the nature and severity of such injuries and the effects of combat action on the individual. Though the military has given lip service to the prevalence, severity, and debilitating effects of PEM injuries, and the importance of treating and screening for their occurrence, given the military's culture of physical and mental toughness, these invisible wounds of war are rarely taken seriously, or are ignored completely, or are stigmatized as mental illness. Further, military mental health professionals understand implicitly, if not explicitly, that their function is to cure the soldier quickly, or more likely, to mask his symptoms with medication and return him to the fighting. An important first step for the military in taking PEM injury seriously, in eliminating the social stigma, to encourage members of the military and veterans to seek treatment, is to recognize such injuries as the wounds of war, not unlike physical wounds that may be sustained on the battlefield. That is, not as a source of weakness, embarrassment, or shame, but rather of courage, of honor, and sacrifice. This would be accomplished by recognizing the combat-related PEM-injured soldier as combat wounded, and therefore eligible to be awarded the Purple Heart Medal. Tragically, until then, many soldiers and veterans will avoid the stigma of mental illness, avoid seeking treatment for their injuries, and for those who do, adequate treatment and healing will not be forthcoming.